As I came into my sewing room one dark and rainy evening in fall, a strange power took control over me. This is what I have on my mind. A Dirndl meets Halloween. Yes, I think I need to do it. Thinking like this nice black fabric as the main fabric for the dress, and then pumpkins on my apron and probably orange blouse underneath. I need it. First we need to cut the fabric, like always. Cut this fabric, shall we? So this project also needs a lining, and I decided to go with this black twill fabric that I got in my stash. It's a little more sturdier, so it gives a little more structure to the bodice, which is good because I don't have interfacing on hand. I would like to use what I have, so we're going this route. And if it's not enough, I think I can just throw some boning in there and then it will be fine. So I pinned everything. Nice tip if you want to get on quickly with your sewing. If you have a lot of parts that are basically the same, like all the straight seams on the bodice, for me now, I pinned everything. So now I can just sew seam after seam and I will hopefully be done very quickly. Because sometimes you make a last minute dress because Halloween is coming and you need to be done very quickly. Not me, of course. Of course I have black dress and white thread in my machine. Here we go, the front. See you at the ironing board. So after a whole lot of sewing, a whole lot of ironing needs to be done. So let's do that. For the bust sections I will use my ironing ham. I made this thing 15 years ago, it still holds up and it's very nice to iron over as a curved seam. Now that I have made this lovely pile of bodice pieces, we need to put them together, like the lining and the outer fabric. The first thing I need to do for that is closing one side seam, leaving one open for the zipper, and then I think it will be sewn on top of each other, leaving the shoulder seams open, and after that it will all turn around and then you have a nice neckline. That's the word. Some curved seam allowances. When the fabric is bunching up, that means there's too much fabric in the seam allowance, so you have to take out notches, which reduces the amount of fabric in the seam allowances, and then it can lay flat. And on the other side you need to just clip so that it can spread nicely around the curve. I feel like most of the time the fabric tells you what it wants to do and you have to decide if that's the thing that you also want to do. What it wants me to do is to put one outer fabric, the lining on top of the outer fabric, sew all the, just like neckline and the arms, and I think the side seam will stay open too. Yeah, so that's what we're doing now. Now we need to clip a lot of corners and stuff before I can turn it to the right side. I will now turn it to these shoulder straps, that's the word. And just decided that I will understitch the neck edge so that it will stay nice and crisp. Otherwise it would probably just want to roll out from the inside, and we don't want that. So now we have a back piece. No, that's the front. Front piece, the nice edge. It has some edges where it might need understitching by hand, or I will just put trim on top of this and then it's basically top stitched. I will find a solution, but I think it looks very nice so far. Also the back is very pretty with these nice seams. And now let's put this thing together. So, need to show you something. I have my back, the shoulder straps, and I have the same thing for the front. And now we'll put the outer fabric of the straps together, sewing only the outer fabric, so this will be closed, and then the inside will be closed by hand. And then it's very nice and no open seams and stuff. So I forgot to mention that you actually have to leave open the seam allowance portion of the lining fabric, so you can actually sew the outer fabric together. Seam allowance will be ironed to the inside, and then you can close it like this, edge to edge, and then you will close it by hand. That's something I will do tomorrow night. It's a new day and we can move on with this mess. I just started to clean up everything here so I can make the join of the arm strap nice and pretty, and that's what I will do now. We made my cutting table a little higher so that my back doesn't hurt when I'm cutting fabric, but now when I'm sitting on it I feel like a 3-year-old. So the next thing it wants me to do is to sew the right side seam of the outer fabric and the lining fabric all in one go, so that you have a nice clean edge from the outside. And the other one will have the zipper, so that will stay open for now. So now I have sewn the right side seam in one go with the lining, so I can now turn it inside out. And now we have a bodice. This stays open for the zipper, but we have time to do that later. Now it's time to make the skirt, which is basically the easiest skirt ever. A rectangle sewn together on one side and then gathered on top. The pattern of the fabric goes this way. I made myself a little reminder. And I need to do the right seam now. But we also have pocket. Super important to take care of that as well. So the pocket will simply be sewn to this edge, and the same thing on the other side. So now the pockets are sewn to the side seam, and now we're putting the side seam together and just sewing around the pocket bag. If I find the other side, where is it? So first I'm sewing around the pocket, and I will serge it as well, and then we're doing the rest of the seam. So now the big part comes, putting the skirt and the bodice together. We only sew it to the outer fabric. Here we go. All pinned. May the sewing gods be with me. And the bobbin thread. No, I should go to sleep. The bobbin thread was empty. I repinned everything and now I hope everything went well. It looks very pretty. So now when we sew it, it will go like this afterwards, and if we do a job right, you will not see it. I got these very cheaply on eBay. So let's hope I have an invisible zipper foot. I think this could be the one that we're looking for. Makes me very nervous. I haven't done this so long. The first thing I like to do after that is check if it works. Yes, it does work. Now I will take out my orange basting, and then what we need to do is folding the lining over the outer fabric, folding it on the waist seam, and then I will stitch it in by hand. Lining is pinned all around over the raw edge of the main fabric, and I will sew this down by hand now. And now let's do some witchcraft, aka fabric dyeing. For that we need a big pot, some fabric dye and a lot of hope. So here are my fabrics that we dyed yesterday. So this one took the dye quite nice and it's orange. This one is more peachy color. So I'm not sure if I will dye this one again. Because I also got the nice loops for the lacing on the dress. There are little roses. They're very pretty and I think I will sew them on now. Little sneak peek. So this is where I'm at with my blouse. The front is done, the light nice gathering strips, I don't know how to call it. You can gather the front and then you can tie a bow. It's done, and now I'm taking care of the back piece. The blouse is quite simple, so that's why I did not film too much of it, and yeah, I will check in later. I'm about to put in the elastic in blouse hem, and then it will nicely wrap around my body, and after that we're making some sleeves and then the little blouse is done. I put it on. I think the length of my elastic is perfect. So I will close the elastic and then I will close the hem seam and then onto the sleeves. So we have two cute little sleeves, and now it's time to put them into the blouse. Every sew's favorite part, right? Wish me luck. It's done. So moving on to the apron now, and here we go. So I decided that I will start with just these two because I'm not sure if it's a little too much if I put it in the middle. And if I decide to do it, I can still do it afterwards. And then I will add this as decoration below. And then we will make my apron. And I want to put this on the waistband. The embroidery is done, and yeah, I don't think I will put the one in the middle because I think that's too much, but also kind of cute. I think I will put on the ribbon first that I plan to put on the hem, and then I will take a look. Is there a thing like too much? I think it's kind of cute. Let's do it, right? So I don't know what this is called in English, but it's basically a ribbon that helps you gathering the upper edge of the apron in a very even way. The way it works is you sew it onto your fabric and then you pull these little threads and then you get some very nice gathers, and that's what we're going to use for the apron now. Where is the apron actually? All rows are stitched. Now we're pulling the threads and it already does a nice job of gathering a thing. Now we can attach the waistband to the skirt piece. And while you see me finishing this apron, it's time for the reveal.